What's up everybody? Mad Cat here, day 100 of 100 days of making comics. I did it, I'm done, I can't believe it. It went by really fast. I had a great time, got a lot of work done on my comic Desert Bats. First of all, just a huge thank you to Kevin Cross who created this challenge. I'm so happy I did this. If anybody's on the fence about whether to do a challenge like this, I highly recommend it because it just creates some awesome daily habits. And for all of you that have been following along, you can now start reading Desert Bats. So just head over to Webtoons, put in Desert Bats, and you can start reading. Right now it just has the cover and page 1, but every Sunday there's going to be a new page that drops. And also thank you so much to all the subscribers, all the comments, all the cool people I've been able to chat with. It's been totally awesome. It's gonna feel weird not making videos every day. So today, for day 100, we get a little in-depth look into how Desert Bats came about. But first, today I got in about 45 minutes of inking. So on the home stretch, working on page 89, which is in issue 4 of Desert Bats, penciling much tighter, and I've gone back to the zebra brush pens. I know I've gone back and forth a lot, but I just love the line quality I've been getting out of these pens. And so I think in my sketchbook, I'm going to be using the brush pens a lot more. So this mini comic was really the seeds of what became Desert Bats. This is a mini comic, it's 8 pages I think. I made this a few years ago. And yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of the ideas in it. You can actually get this for free if you go to indieplanet.com and look up Warriors of Mystic Might. Yeah, you'll definitely see some of the same names, a couple little concepts. But at this point, yeah, it hadn't turned into Desert Bats yet. Where Desert Bats really started, where these ideas came together, is I started doing these kind of daily comic journals, just really quick, just to practice my storytelling. And I was having so much fun with these. And I was doing, one a day. And so I wanted to take this idea to the next level and just tell a story. This is just a journal, stuff that happened in my life. It's a great practice if you're working on comics yourself. It's kind of a built-in story, just take things that have happened to you and turn it into a comic. And so I wanted to do this, but just tell a story and see if I could just put out a page a day. I was getting my oil changed one day and I brought along my sketchbook, and as I was sitting in my car, I drew this guy here, which became my main character, Spark, and I wrote Desert Bats. I thought that's kind of cool. And so I came home, I thumbnailed page 1, and I started making the book. That was all the prep that I did, nothing else. And so I had several days in a row where I simply would just pencil and ink a page kind of as quick as I could. That was the whole idea behind this, was just to put out a whole bunch of pages, and it turned into something more than I even expected. It's turning into a graphic novel. As of this recording, I'm working on page 89. And so the entire graphic novel is going to be a little over 100 pages. I'm super excited with where it's gone. One of the problems you run into if you actually make a comic this way is there's not a lot of character design. You saw it all. I mean, that's it. I did that while I was sitting in my car one day. And so you're stuck with those designs unless you have a story reason to change it. But it's not a big deal. I really wanted to just produce a lot of pages and learn how to tell a story with comics. And so as I was creating Desert Bats, I would get up each day and I would think, okay, what's going to happen tomorrow? Because I didn't have a storyline. I would just make up a page a day. And so this is about as loose as my thumbnails would be. I might make a couple little notes, or I might do a little bit of dialogue. And that was the extent of it. And this book here was kind of one of the inspirations as well. Not the story or anything, but just how loose the pages are. This is Creature Tech by Doug TenNapel, and I really enjoyed this book. But if you take a look at the pages, it's just black and white, and they're just real quick drawings. And I really like that because I wanted to make a graphic novel. I honestly didn't think I could ever make one. So I feel like working on Desert Bats was just kind of my master class, that if I could make a graphic novel, then nothing could stop me. And so it is a really good feeling, like I'm almost done with the graphic novel. But this was what I would go to sometimes if I'd lose focus. I'd go back to some of these pages, like, okay, I wanted to do something like this. It's just kind of loose. You know, even sometimes not worrying about perspective in this. Yeah, so the more and more I worked on Desert Bats, it became something more. I wanted to tighten up my pencils and my inks. So this is one of the first pages of Desert Bats. You can see just how loose the inks are. At this time, I was even lettering on the page. I really wanted to do that, but I realized pretty quick that if I was going to hand letter this graphic novel, kind of at this point, I knew it was going to be more than just a couple pages. So I knew if I hand lettered this thing, it was going to take forever, and I actually wanted to finish. And that's why I chose not to color this book too. You know, I just have the one color. I have kind of an orangish color for the final version. So yeah, this is one of the earlier pages where, yeah, you can just tell how loose it is. And then if you look at one of the more current pages, definitely tighten everything up much more. So I was definitely okay with the styles changing in this book because this wasn't necessarily meant to be perfect. This was for me to learn. And here's another example of just tightening up everything. This is one of my, I think this is the big turning point. I did this double page spread, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I feel like once I got to this level, I couldn't go back to having just a really, really loose inks. And I knew I wanted these pages to look as good as I could possibly make them. So this, yeah, my first ever double page spread, and I really enjoyed making this. And that's why I think it's so important to carry your sketchbook around with you. So I was sitting in my car, getting my oil changed, just drew this out of nowhere, and it's turned into this.